into our human potential on these dimensions to help us to secure that this is going to be something that enhances our humanity and being instead of detracting from it. Think about AI disruption as this 100-foot wave. How you emotional respond to it is really important, and to be self-aware about it is one of the first steps. I'm your host, Ana Melikian, and my mission is to support individuals and organizations to increase their impact while avoiding burnout. If you want to work smarter, not harder, I can help you. If you want to go from burnout to full engagement, let's talk. Reach me at Ana, A-N-A, at mindset.zone. Yes, instead of .com, it's .zone. You can also access all the episode notes, links, and other amazing resources at mindset.zone. Welcome to today's episode of the Mindset Zone, where the topic is AI. How does it make you feel? And this is being in the top of my mind because I'm doing a talk out there that is all about the human side of the AI disruption. How can we make sure that this is going to be something that will enhance our humanity and not detract from it? And it's also a recognition that there is a mixed feelings around AI. And I want to start my presentations with the show, not tell. That is one of the cores of a presenter. And what I decide to do is, instead of having the typical MC reading my bio, I have created from a photo an avatar that I fed the bio, and I have a video where the avatar is presenting me, is reading. So it's an avatar of myself. Let's say I'm Anna's avatar, and then it goes on doing my bio. And after that 30, 45 seconds of the bio, I invite a member of the audience or the MC to interact with another avatar that I create that is like a bot, a chat bot, that you can converse with it. You can ask questions. So you ask a question to this, and there is a visual of it. And then my avatar answers your question. So this is the interaction that you can do with artificial intelligence. And after that, I ask, how does it make you feel? And I even have a survey that asks people to describe their emotions in 3 words or short phrases. And I've been using this survey, and it's fascinating, the result of it, that the software that I'm using then it brings together in a word cloud where the more often used words show up bigger, but all the words that people use to describe how AI makes them feel, or that introduction that I do with AI makes them feel, shows in this word cloud. And the most popular terms are things like curious, intrigue, amazed, impress. And there is also things like freak out, creeped out, fake, weird. It's really interesting to see this diversity of emotions that AI elicit. And now that I'm taking my presentation on the road, I'm very curious how different audiences are going to react and be triggered with different feelings around this. Because I bet if I'm speaking in Silicon Valley or in a company that are developing tools with AI, most of the responses are going to be like the bias is going to be for the positive end of the continuum. because they are fully embracing AI. They are many times really even by the potential to make a positive impact out there. So the focus, the bias is that positive side. And at the same time, I know that if I'm speaking with a different type of audience, for instance, an audience of coaches and consultants, their bias is going to be more for being skeptical and using words like icky or inauthentic, not human, and natural, because that is their bias. They are very focused, and some of them even worried about how is the AI bots is going to replace some level of coaching, how people are going, if this is a good thing for our well-being and so forth. And of course will be other more general audiences that will be a mix of feelings. Even sometimes the same person can use words of excitement and the interest and curiosity and creep out or wear out too. So it's normal, even the same person, to have different emotional responses regarding to AI. And I'm very curious, you that are listening to this, how does AI make you feel? What are the kind of emotions that elicit on you? And I will make sure that I put on the show notes of this episode the little video that I show and even the link to the survey, because I would like your input about that. Because maybe you feel something totally different and adding your voice to the conversation is important. So, why I'm spending so much time on this, starting a presentation, one of my keynotes with this, doing an episode now about this. Why are the feelings that AI elicits on us or trigger on us is so important? There are different levels. One thing that I know for sure is that this cat is out of the bag. AI is here to stay. And mainly if you are in the business world in any dimension, as a leader, as a part of the workforce, or as a user, the AI disruption is going to affect you, and it will affect you in different way. And this, recognizing that the diversity of emotions, this mixed bag that AI triggers on us, is acknowledge this, is really important. Again, independent of your role. If you are an AI developer, it's really important to know in order to make sure that you, the way that you are developing the AI is creating, elicit the feelings that you intend to, and most of the people. Is important for even HR leaders on how everybody in the workforce is going to have this mixed bag of emotions and what you can do about it. Uh, Policymakers, or even if you are the AI user or refuse to use AI, all these are important things. We need to bring all these different voices to the table, and it's so important because AI is some people out there of the AI research world that they speak about this is creating exponential growth, and that is going to be something that we never saw before. I will have another episode about exponential growth and about that. But independent if that is going to happen or not, or if there is going to be a plateau, one thing that we can foresee with more certainty is that this is a 100-foot wave that is going to disrupt a lot of the things that we are used to in an indirect or direct way. So if you are in the business world, in the Western business world, and using this image, exploring this metaphor of the 100-foot wave, and you are, the business world will be this beach, this sand and the ocean. If you choose to ignore that this 100-foot wave is coming, it can be a very dangerous proposition because you can be crushed by it if you are in the range of it. And most people in the business world are going to be in the range of it. On the other hand, if your attitude to it, your approach to it is like trying to embrace this wave or control everything about this wave, keeping in the top of every nuance of every new tool. And I know that there are people out there that their job is to keep in the top of every new tool. But for most people that are trying to keep on the top of every new tool, this is another thing that they have to do in their plate. And if they add this more and so many tools that are going to pop everywhere, it's going to be a recipe for many people to overextend themselves to the point of burnout. So if you ignore it, you can be crushed by it. If you try to control it, it's the same. You can be crushed by it. So what is a better response? What are the possibilities here? You can try to surf the wave or at least support someone who is surfing the wave. And this is really, I think, the way that we can create a bigger positive impact out there, surfing or supporting somebody that is surfing this wave. And the reason that I'm using this 100-foot wave has to do with the HBO documentary series that maybe you are familiar with called The 100-Foot Wave that follows the journey of this big wave surfer, Namera, in his quest to ride a 100-foot wave and the challenge of it. And fascinating enough, that was one of the reasons that I start to see the documentary series, is that most of it is filmed in a small fishing village in Portugal, my country of origin. The name of this village is Nazaré, that through this documentary and through McNamara, it really became like a mecca for the big wave surfers of all over the world. Now they go in the winter there where the big swells happens, these big waves happen to try to surf the 100-foot waves. And the very interesting thing of seeing the documentary is that this is not a one person thing. If you see, it's a team of people that are supporting the surfer. There is the jet skis that take the surfers out there in the middle of the ocean to the right point where they can catch the wave. There are these other people, the spotters that are in this lighthouse with binoculars to make sure and communicating with the surfer, and the support team to make sure that they pick the right wave and that everything is the safer as possible in this dangerous sport. There is a team that if something goes wrong is there to immediately enter into action. So there is a ton of people. It's a team effort. And I think for the AI disruption, we also have to have the same spirit of a team effort. This is not something for us to do alone. This is something for us to do as a team, as a group, and as a society. We have something, all of these levels are going to enter into play. And I love to bring this when I speak about human development and human potential, that is not just individual level, it's also we are connecting beings. So there is that group dimension, and then we are affected by the systems where we live, and we affect the system where we live, and we have to take all at least these three dimensions, the inner dimension, the outer dimension, and the systemic dimension into consideration. And with AI, and now it's going to affect us all, we have to tap into our human potential on these dimensions to help us to secure that this is going to be something that enhances our humanity and well-being instead of detracting from it. Think about AI disruption as this 100-foot wave. how you emotionally respond to it is really important, and to be self-aware about it is one of the first steps. Is like pressing the pause button. How does this make me feel? Because this allows you to increase your self-awareness of your feelings. That can be a mixed bag of the way that you are thinking in relation to the AI disruption, how it's going to affect your job, how it's going to create opportunities. All this also mix bag of ways that you can be thinking about this. And of course, also your actions. Are you refusing to even learn about it? Again, is ignore, not the best thing, because it's going to affect you indirectly or directly. Or are you trying to know all the nuances of it? And again, you have to be careful if you go to the extreme. Where are you? And how you are embracing the experimentation mindset around AI in a way that, again, allows you to increase your impact as an individual or as an organization while preventing the burnout. So, all these are really important things for us to think about. And if you are a listener of this podcast, Mindset Zone, possibly you saw my PI method. The pressing the pause is essential here. The P of the PI, P-I-E. P for pressing the pause. We have to press the pause and ask, how does this make us feel? That takes us to the I of increasing our self-awareness of our feelings, our thoughts, and our behaviors around AI. And that takes us to the E of the PI method, embracing the experimentation mindset. What can we try to experiment with, play with, that allow us to be more resilient and create or tap into our human potential in a way that secures that this is something to increase impact and not just another thing to put to create more burnout scenarios out there in the world. And my mission here is really bringing that awareness and bring more humanistic voices to the table, because I know plenty of tech people that are all in, and I love the passion of some of these people, and they are some of them are aware also of the dangers, are trying to put guardrails around this, the privacy, the unintended consequences. There is a ton of things. There are many people of the humanistic side of this, the coaches and consultants, the HR people, and so many others that are a little bit putting their head in the sand and not wanting to, okay, this is the tech for the tech people. No, we need your voices on the table to have this conversation, to make sure that we need your perspective, your different perspective in the table for this conversation, to make sure that the AI disruption is going to be something that enhances our humanity and overall well-being, and not the other way around. Tech people are extraordinary, but they are very focused on their goals, and is the way that they work, solving a problem effectively. Humanistic people are usually bringing a more wider perspective to the table and can see in a different way what is going on. And we need the diversity of the groups of voices to speak with each other and really to have a dialogue. So converse with each other and move this in a way that is going to be an amazing opportunity for all of us in so many respects. But we have to be proactive and prevent some of the dangers and put the right guardrails on it too. So it's a huge challenge that we can leverage to increase our well-being and our humanity and reach more people and make a bigger impact out there. So this is the conversation that I'm loving having with you, having with audiences. I want to bring more diversity of voices to the table. So if you have something to say, please feel free to email me at Ana, at mindset.zone. I would love to hear your perspective. So looking forward to it and keep tuning in because I will have more episodes about this topic. Bye for now.
Expanding possibilities, the mindset zone.
Thank you for listening, and remember to follow this podcast. And if you're listening in Apple Podcasts, please leave us a review. That really helps us spread the word about the Mindset Zone. Also visit mindset.zone. Yes, instead of .com is .zone. There you can find amazing resources and more information about my speaking and how I support purpose-driven individuals and organizations increase their impact while preventing burnout. As always, I'm so grateful that you are here. Expand what's possible for you, for the ones around you, for the world.